Welcome back. So before we upload the file in here, there is a little thing that we want to do, which is setting the content type header of this blob. So let me explain what is this exactly. If I go to storage account and here I create a blob container, I will hit upload files. I will go to that select file, go to my desktop, and I will pick this image. So basically, this one will be uploaded just like this. And right now, I have it in here. So let's hit refresh. Okay, here we go. So as you may notice in here, we have a property called content type, which is in the world of web. Like this is one of the header values that's defined, like when you are sending a request or getting a response. In the body of the request or the response, the content type in the header is responsible to say what kind of data that I have in the body. So for example, if you are sending JSON, it will be application/JSON. If you are sending like PDF, it will be application/PDF. So why this one is important? Basically, by default, when I hit upload right now, because of the extension, Azure Storage Explorer automatically set its content type to image/JPEG. But if I choose something else, like if I put, for example, when you are uploading from the SDK directly, even in an older versions of the Storage Explorer, it doesn't set it automatically for you to the correct content type. And that actually leads to some problems in some cases. So let me show what it is. So if I right now hit on copy URL, I go to the browser in here and then I hit OK. So authorization field, okay, because by default the container is set to, okay, so I will get shared access signature, this one, just to basically be able to read this copy. Because it's protected, we are going to come back to shared access signature later. So here we go, we got this image open just in front of us in the browser directly. When you are, for example, downloading a file like an exe file or a setup or something like that, the browser directly downloads that. So why the browser didn't download the image just like a file and it previewed it for us? Just because of the content type. It reads the content type and it checks that this one looks like it's an image, so I can preview it to the user. But if you are like it's an exe file or something like that, or binary sequences other than this extension, so it will be doing something else. So this content type property is very important for us. So by default, when you are uploading from the Azure SDK, it's set to binary. I forget what was called. Let me search HTTP content types. So in here, I have opened those. Okay, this. Yeah, let's check this one. I think it is this application/octet stream. So I'm going to change this one. Sorry, I clicked on download. I need to click on properties. Okay, close. I need to click on properties. I did already. Okay, fetching the properties. Why it's taking all this time? Okay, failed to get the properties. Let's do that one more time. I'll hit refresh. I will close this. I will open the container one more time. Then I'll hit properties. Okay, we are getting an error. I'll get back to this. I maybe need to restart the Storage Explorer or do something like that. I'll get back to resolving this later. But what happens if I set it to that one, and if I open the exact same link, the image will not be shown in here. Otherwise, it will be downloaded directly to your system as like any normal file that you download, like an exe file or something like that. If, for example, you are setting it to a PDF, so the browser knows automatically that this is a PDF file and I should open it in a PDF reader. So we need to set this property on uploading the file. So right now we made the browser knows about the correct one, and anyway we have for other usages, but mainly if we are building the app also for the browser, when downloading an image, this one's going to help better the browser to know how to deal with it, to the caching and stuff like that. So we need to set this content type, and to do that, here we can have new blob http. Okay, if I click in here, you can notice that the second parameter in some cases will be, so blob upload options, http headers. Okay, here we go. Look at that, http copilot one more time, image/png, but that's not always the case that we want. So the last thing we need to have overwrite, but we don't care about overwrite for now. So image/png, we just need to change this. I will call it like get content type, and we will pass the extension, because we'll be able to detect the content type by the extension. So I'm going to write this little function in here, private string get content type string extension. Okay, so we just need to type return extension switch. So this is the new switch syntax, if you're not familiar with that. Okay, look at that. GitHub Copilot fetched already the content type for us. This is how the value is going to be, and in case, so let's start from the beginning. So we are using the new switch syntax, extension switch. If it's PNG, so this is the content type. If it's JPEG, this is the content type. Same for this one, GIF, if not, so this is equals to the default. If you are using the full switch statement, this is the default when you have this underscore in here, and we need to throw an exception. So what you are seeing in here, maybe a question will come to your mind, like how I know about this, like how I'm going to know the right content type, because they are standardized. It will be easy. So all you have to do is just to visit this website. Where was it? Yeah, in here. So this is the extension, and this is the media type for it that you can use in the content type. So if it's an audio, if it's an image of any type, so you can see you have a huge list. So you can find this link in the description box in case you're supporting many extensions. And if you're building your own app, you need to make sure to always set the right content type. So this is all what we need to do to set the content type. Now, the next thing that we'll be doing is just to write the code for the delete file async. So let's do the exact same thing. Fetch the container, get container async, file path, and right now, we don't need the file path. The second thing is that we need to remove, we will pass the full file path for the file or the full file URL, but to delete we just actually need the name. So right now I'm going to take the name in here, file name equal path get file name with extension. So I'm not going to use the other part that we have used in the previous section. So okay, the question now, why I'm passing here the file name and here I'm passing only the file path? We don't need to let the Azure functions take any responsibility of removing or in saving the file. So just pass the parameters as they are and let the logic happens here. So we don't need the Azure function itself to know how the delete will work. So pass only the file name and keep the path. No, let's send it full to the delete and let this function be responsible for everything, which is fetching the file name, and that's the job. So now we need to get a blob reference container.get blob client and the blob name. Of course, the container, the attachments container. This is how it's going to know that. And the last thing we're going to do, just the blob.delete if exists async. Make sure to use delete if exists async, because if it's not existing, you're going to see some kind of error. So just to stay on the safe side, this is all we want to do. So this is the delete file async, this is the save file async, and this is the helpers function that we have, the get container and the content type. The last thing I'll be doing is just move this into another file. There we go. Great, so right now we have the service just up and running and actually ready to be used. Oh, it's not up and running yet, but it's ready to be used. So last thing is we need to register that service. So builder.services.add scope iStorage service, and here we cannot just type Blob Azure Blob Storage because we need to pass the connection string in the constructor, right? So to do that, we need to basically, so service provider, new Azure Blob Storage service, and the connection string is config Azure Web Jobs Storage. Okay, so this is all what we need to do. Let me make sure that I wrote the correct name. I think, yeah, it is. That's right. So right now we registered this one. The next step is to create a function and test that. And this is what we'll be doing in the next video. And after that, we'll be moving to integrating the Azure Computer Vision APIs to validate the content of the image. So I hope you enjoyed this video and the full idea is complete for you. If not, make sure to put your questions in the comments section or join our Discord server, that you can find in here, and you can ask any questions, and we have many more things. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.